Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1993's Point of No Return. And before we get started, if you want to, you got something?
She returns. Like she does hit a point of return because, spoiler alert, she gets out. So
It's fair. It's fair.
I'd say we'll chuck this one up immediately with nowhere to run.
You're getting you're getting ahead of ourselves, okay? But if you want to reach out, follow us on the social medias. You can follow us at Kiss the Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, if you want to follow us, subscribe for ad-free content, additional content, free requests, the whole nine. Follow us on Patreon, and it's a good time over there. Good time had by all.
Yeah.
And Corey will piss everybody off over there. So
yeah, by the way, if you're curious, I solved the whole Middle East thing over on Patreon.
Yes.
So if you want the secret to peace in the Middle East and no more Israel, Palestine, Iran, and all that shit, I got you covered. I got the whole thing laid out.
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
This film stars Bridget Fonda as Maggie, Gabriel Byrne as Bob, and Dermot Mulroney as JP.
Dermot Mulroney with that hair and a beard of any kind still looks like Dirty Steve from Young Guns, and that is all I could see.
Navajo, Navajo, enough.
You know, in these movies, like, I don't know, like She's All That, or like one of these movies where it's just like, oh, like, I'm just the nerd, and they dress her down, and then all of a sudden she's like the belle of the ball at the end of the movie.
She took off her glasses and washed her hair, and all of a sudden she's like,
dude,
beautiful.
They dirtied Bridget Fonda up. She is a hot mess at the beginning of it. Like, her teeth are all fucked up. Like, this is how you do the ugly duckling thing. This is how you do it right.
Yep. Yeah, she was fucked up. That being said, probably would.
Again, fair. But
what, you think gross teeth and a massive drug addiction is the worst thing I've fought against?
Absolutely not.
That's a walk in the park, Kazansky.
Yeah, you and me both. You and me both. So you know how I like them. I like them dirty.
Well, you win that one. Old butter teeth.
Hell yes.
The movie opens with this panoramic view of DC, and it fades into this gang breaking into a drugstore. The cops show up, the owner shows up, there's this whole shootout, and Maggie is the only one left alive at the end of this thing. And there's the cop comes over, and she's got her headphones on, and she's listening to music, and she looks like she is strung the fuck out. And the cop comes over, and he's like, "Oh, let me take off your little things. Like, everything gonna be okay?" And she just blows his head off.
This is already an absurd amount of backstory for no reason. Like, oh, we're breaking in, and I need my fix. Cool, I get that. You're breaking into a pharmacy. You're going to steal drugs.
Yep.
Guy comes down. He's got his shotgun. He's not accustomed to holding a shotgun on other human beings, so he's a little nervous. He's like, don't fucking move. But now all of a sudden, well, you're going to shoot your son, little Johnny? Little Johnny? You can't shoot Johnny boy. What the fuck does this have to do with anything of any sort?
We get a little Michael Rappaport in here, too, with no shirt on.
That was a winner. But seriously, like, the amount of backstory they're dragging out here.
Oh, yeah.
They could have cut this in half, man. They're breaking in.
Oh, it's
the guy gets shot. His son is irrelevant. The cops show up. There's the shootout. She's still everything goes down exactly the same. Just, what the fuck is the point of the son backstory?
Yeah, all you need is the break-in, an alarm goes off, the cops show up, shootout, she survives, and then we go to like this is the weird part about it. So after this, she goes to court. She gets sentenced to, we're going to give you the clear juice, lethal injection, and yada yada. They show
Mhm.
her like pissing herself in the thing in the chair, and she's get the lethal injection, and then she just wakes up in what looks to be like an Apple Store closet. Like it's like all white, clean. There's like nothing in there, and now you get Bob, who is walking in, and he just explains to her that, like, hey, we faked your death. And look, here are the pictures of like your family. And just say you faked your death. Just say you faked your death. And then we move into the next thing. We need you, but I what I don't understand as far as plots go, why? You just take junkies off the street and now they're part of like some, I don't know, secret agency of the government that like kills people.
You were correct.
I'm not at liberty to discuss it, but that's how a lot of us, I mean, them, get their start. We were all
Gotcha.
junkies once who are now secret agent men posing as YouTube people. Yeah, no, I just thought this all was fucking so bizarre. Why
Yeah.
her? There's no point. Because like you said, she's a junkie strung out. What is going to prevent her, after all of your training, from her to going to the other person she's supposed to kill and just being like, hey, let me cop, and these people are trying to get you. Heads up, I'm gonna go get fucking high now.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be so easy to turn her and the fucking, like, oh, she killed a cop. Great. Like, why does that make her CIA material?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing in this that makes any sense whatsoever, except for Gabriel Byrne sees her in court and is like, she fucked up a couple guards.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So again, so
Well, and
what?
here's some advice for you too. All right. So let's say you have gone down this road, right? And you're like, hey, I'm gonna get this junkie, and she's gonna be a killing machine for us.
Mhm.
When you go into her room, you wake her up and you're like, hey, we faked your death, yada yada exposition, right? We're explaining you things. You know what's not gonna get a junkie who's literally fresh off the juice is not going to get them to go, you know what? You're making some valid points. I totally want to do this. Don't go, you haven't done shit in your life. You need to learn some things like computers and such. Do something for your country. They don't fucking care. Okay?
Do something to help your country for a change.
This is where, if I'm him, if I'm Gabriel Byrne, I'm like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake because she's got an IQ of 5. Because I tell her all of
Dude.
this, and she goes, I think I would like to pass. What happens if I pass? Ooh, are you fucking stupid? Like, how is that even a question? We faked your death. Do you understand what we had to go through
You don't
just to
exist.
get to the point where you pissed your pants? Let alone to this point where we're waking you up in this fucking facility where
Yes.
we train agents.
This is the weirdest scared straight episode I've ever seen.
It's so bizarre.
Well, and this is how you know she's not too bright because she goes through this whole thing where she tries to escape here because he comes back in to see her, and she like sneaks up, hits him with a chair, and then takes him
Mhm.
hostage. And again, going back to above the law, she's got a gun to his head. And he's like, everybody calm down and put your weapons down. Like, this is going to be fine. Dude, these bitches ain't listening to what you're saying. There's literally red dots pointed at her head. They're just going to take her out. That's what happens. Whatever you're saying is irrelevant to the situation. There's a live gun. We find out that there's no live round in it, but there is a live gun pointed at the head of an agent in this underground headquarter facility. They are shooting that bitch immediately. That's what's happening.
Yeah, this is basically the equivalent of you being in your 90-day probationary period of just being hired, walking in the first day and being like, hey, boss, why don't you go fuck yourself and your mother? What do you mean I'm fired?
Hell yes.
This is how stupid she is. Okay. And this is where Bob should be like, "Ooh, we made a bad call," and then he comes up behind her and just gives her 2 to the back of the head. She has to like they're taking her through her training, like computers and etiquette, and I don't know, you got to walk with a book on your head and whatever. So they're taking her through all this. The dude is like, and I get it was 1993, but computers were a thing, right? And he's like, "This is a mouse. This is how you use a mouse." And she's like punching it like she's a baby chimp, trying to like, she just like, slam. And then all of a sudden, she's like, 2 seconds later, she's dragging and dropping shit. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. She's a moron. She's at one point, they're trying to teach her how to fucking eat like a goddamn human. And then she goes full gorilla on the shit. And she's just like, me, and spitting out bones and shit. And it's a double tap. She's done.
Yeah, all of this is so, and I get it, like, oh, she's unconventional, and that's what gives her a different edge, thinking outside the box. And it's like, dude, just get over it. She is throwing a full-on Karen temper tantrum in the store, in the parking garage, wherever the fuck Karens congregate and throw their fits. That's what she is basically doing.
At the local Aldi's.
And again, this is why we're in the situation we're in now with white women, because everybody's letting her get away with this shit. And just like,
well,
this isn't an episode of Webster. She's not Punky Brewster. It's not cute or charming. Fucking shoot this bitch and move the fuck on.
No, you're absolutely right. And the funniest part is Kaufman and Bob are in the office and they're discussing her future and yada yada. Bob's like, yeah, we should totally let her do whatever the hell. And there's this thing coming up. He's like, I know it normally takes 2 years to run somebody through this program, but this girl who obviously could give 2 squirts of piss about us, this whole project, the learning, she's obviously a baby gorilla still. She's got 6 months to learn what all of these other people we've done this with have learned in 2 years. Do you think she could be ready? If not, we're going to kill her. No, yeah, I don't think she's going to be ready. She could barely walk.
This is all happening in Texas because Texas is the only place where they put mentally disabled people to death.
Yes.
It's the only state left that does that. So the whole faking of lethal injection and this is all in Texas because literally we go from a scene of her drag dropping Gabriel Byrne's head into some Etch-a-Sketch dinosaur's open mouth or something. And then they're like, she's on the fast track. This takes 2 years. Not for this one. She's drag dropping. It's like, dude, what learning curve are we on for her?
Dude, if she right-clicked, they're like, she should be the president of the United States. Like, I don't even know what the hell. She right-clicked, did a copy-paste, and it was fucking over. She should totally run for office.
Dude, for real. The guy that invented QuickBooks is now like the head of the CIA. This is so ridiculous.
But then Bob tells her this whole thing, like basically, if you don't get your shit together in 6 months, like they're gonna kill you, basically. So Maggie then goes to Amanda, who is like the etiquette queen for the CIA, and helps her become a lady. And Maggie quickly like gets her shit together and gets to be where she has to be. And after 6 months, Bob takes Maggie out to dinner. And at dinner, you good?
Mm-hmm.
And at dinner, Bob gives Maggie the present of a high-powered handgun and explains to her that he wants her to kill this dude in the restaurant that's up in like the rafters or whatever and escape through the bathroom. She does as she's told. He leaves. And then when she gets to the bathroom to escape, like the window's bricked off, and now a chase ensues, and she's got to find her way out. And there's pum pum and lots of gunfighting here and gunplay, and she escapes out the laundry chute. And then she goes back to the compound, and Bob's like, "Hey, good job. That was your final test."
That's literally how I do first dates.
And
Like, if you want to ride with me, I need to know if you can really ride with me. So what I need you to do is take this gun, go kill some rando. It's not even a real target, just some random fucking guy I don't like. That guy ate his fucking food weird. It was gross. He put too much sour cream in a baked potato. Fucking shoot that gross pig. That's what I say. And then if you do it, like, hey, I'll meet you back. I'll be like, hey, run through the window in the restroom. I haven't even used the restroom in this place. It's my first time here.
What?
I have no idea. I don't even care. And if you make it back to my house, then yeah, I give you my gift. Maybe something else happens later on down the road.
Stop lying, Corey. This is how Corey's first date goes. He just goes, "Hey, there's a gift for you in the men's room." And then Corey goes to the men's room and he's like, "Now you got to give me a Blumpkin." Like that's what's happening next.
Okay, look, if you want to be, that's disgusting. If you
Corey's like, how else am I going to know if you're a keeper or not?
No, if you want to know how a real first date with me goes, it's usually like we're in the car together, and then I'll go, yeah, can I get I don't know, 2 number 2s with 2 small Cokes, small fries. Thank you. That's it. That's dinner with me on a first date.
Done and done. Hey, I can respect that.
Yeah, like I'm spending money on a first date.
Corey's going out with those coupons he used to get on Halloween from the people that didn't give away candy for free fries.
Oh yeah, it's like the value pack and shit you get it in the mail sometimes. Like, yes, a 2-for-1 at Chipotle. I really like this girl. That's where we're going. But I make sure she orders a salad because you got to keep it tight.
Hey, keep it tight for daddy.
Hey.
So Maggie here makes it to the end, right? Mm-hmm. So she's finally prepared to be released into the wild. And she's given a new identity. She's sent to Venice Beach. And she finds a place to stay from JP, the manager of this apartment building. And is
Navajo.
And apparently the inside of her apartment was just lit on fire days prior. And she's like,
did the Red
I'll
Hot
take
Chili
it.
Peppers record their first fucking album in there? What happened?
Dude, that was where Motley Crue used to stay, and they just burned the shit down, and then they just went up the road and got a new place.
For real. Anytime a landlord is showing me around an apartment and goes, "Oh, that's not a urine stain," I'm leaving. I don't care if I'm undercover or not. I'm out.
I want to know a couple of things because Gabriel here, right? Bob gives her some envelopes. And he's like, this is your ID and a passport, and this is your new identity. And then here's an envelope of cash, enough cash to buy a car. That's I guess back then it wasn't a ton of cash, but that's still a lot of cash. That's it? That's all the money she's getting? Like, I was like, how is she affording the apartment? Does she have like, I went a whole different way with it. I was like, does she have 401k, dental, medical? Like, how is this working out? Does she have direct deposit? Are they just cutting her live checks on a weekly? Does she get paid bi-weekly? Like,
this is exactly why you took that test in school and the military just went, no, not him.
Too many questions.
Not him. Yeah. Shred it. If the Chinese ever find out that we're recruiting stupid people like this, a 401k, the movie's called Point of No Return.
You were correct.
Well, I'm wondering why. Like, they gave her a bunch of cash, but you don't have enough. You just buy this like shitty half burnt down apartment. I was like, so Is that all they just give you the cash
Yeah.
for the car and then they're like,
Be-
figure the fucking rest out yourself?
Because she's using the rest of the money on drugs. She's a fucking junkie. She's
That's
gonna
true.
fucking use this on drugs. And that's why she's like, this apartment's perfect. No one will ever know I was even here. And I can piss on the floor and do whatever I need to do. And the rest of this movie is her drug-induced fucking haze. And she OD'd in real life.
Yes, that's also very true. The rest of this movie
Yep.
is just her fever dream as she dies. But it cuts to like 4 months later or something, and her and JP are like dating. They've, decorated the place. They didn't replace any of the walls because there's still like holes and shit in the wall. They just put a fresh coat of paint over the soot all over the all over the apartment. And apparently, like everything's just good to go. And she gets a call one morning as they're in bed, and she gets the dude on the phone that's like, hey, go to the Marriott. This is your new assignment. She gets there, and they basically just give her a maid's outfit and tell her to bring food up to a room. She does it. It looks like there's a bunch of like mobsters or something up there. She comes back down. They tell her to get out and just go home. She's done. And then as she's leaving, she sees the room explode.
And I have to say this, I don't care about the dead people.
We know, Corey.
But JP's kind of a dick, isn't he?
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, female undercover CIA operatives. Uncle Corey here. If you're looking for like a cover boyfriend, basically like a beard for your assassinations, that's me. I don't want to know anything about your life. I don't fucking care. And personally, I hope you don't care about mine either.
Yep.
I hate asking questions about myself. I had to get drunk to do a Q&A, and like 3 questions were about my personal life, and I was like, oh my God, this is the worst fucking night of my life. So, come on over. I'll beard you up.
Same. I really don't care. And to be perfectly honest, is JP an asshole? I don't think he's an asshole, but like I don't know anything about you. Well, obviously you've been together for 4 months and you guys are just, I mean, you're banging first day and it's 4 months later. I'm assuming that's just happening all the time. If she's not sharing, I'm not asking. Obviously there's something in her past that she doesn't want you to know, and I'm fine with it. But he's just like,
all of it.
What? You know everything about me. And yeah, because you won't shut the fuck up. You keep talking about, well, when I was a kid, and this is why I like to photograph people, and blah, blah, blue, and here are my friends. And yeah, you've owned the conversation. So you know what? I'm just not going to share anything. How's that?
And he's super passive aggressive about like,
Yes.
don't you think I deserve an answer? Don't you think I deserve to know
No.
this? No.
No.
No, you don't deserve shit. You're worse Karen than she was at the beginning of this movie. You're asking for a manager every time something goes wrong in a fucking mall. You fucking pussy.
And here's
I
the
can't
thing.
stand him.
For the JPs out there, right? You've met this girl, okay? She tells you nothing about her. You're asking, and she shared like one story, like this is why I like this singer because it takes me back to remember my mom. She shares one story, and he's like, you've shared something. Thank you. The next scene is Bob coming out of the fucking woodwork after she does like the whole kaboom scene. And he's like, hey, everybody at HQ, super proud of you. By the way, we know you're dating this freaking douche canoe, so you need to invite me for dinner because I need to check things out. When he gets to dinner, okay, and if you're JP in this situation, I immediately walk out of this whole situation because if that's her uncle was banging her for years because this is the creepiest
uncle.
This is the creepiest dinner ever. And he was like, and then she rode on a horse and she was the most beautiful. Like he's almost touching himself talking about her riding a horse.
Dude, anytime somebody says I don't care what animal you're riding, when you describe somebody as being beautiful riding this wild animal bareback, you're talking about fucking, and I ain't stupid.
Is it possible this story is true?
Yes, it is.
He's staring at her, Gabriel Byrne is, like he is a love-lost puppy.
Yeah.
The second he lays eyes on her. And every interaction is creepy and this lovelorn, just desperate fucking attempt at Hail Mary. And JP's not stupid. He's like, cool, yeah. You know I'm slamming this chick, right? And it's really good. Which he basically says.
Yes.
I mean, he gets fucking wild with it, and she's just sitting there like, hey, why don't you measure dicks? Dude, why is this dinner even happening?
I don't know. This is the weirdest dinner. And, after, Bob shares fake stories about, Maggie's awesome tits on a horse, he then gives JP and Maggie 2 tickets to New Orleans for Mardi Gras because, I don't know if she told you, but, I work at a travel agency and I own this travel agency. And here's 2 tickets to Mardi Gras randomly. Here's another thing. If you have this agent that you're like, okay, here's your new assignment, yada, you're not sending her with her new boyfriend to New Orleans to do a job. Just be like, hey, tell JP you got to hop out of town for business for a day or 2. And then you fly down there, you do the shit, and then you come back. This whole yeah, I'm Uncle Bob and I own a fucking travel agency. And here's 2 tickets for you guys to go on vacation. By the way, when you're about to slam ass, we're going to call her and be like, hey, go to the bathroom, take the gun out of the drawer. Here's a walkie-talkie. We'll let you know who you're about to shoot. What? That's what's happening here?
I don't have as much problem with her going with JP because it's a good cover. You're going with your boyfriend who doesn't know jack shit. You're just a girl. Most people are going to assume he would be the bad guy if they assume anybody in that room is. So, cool, fair, good cover. That being said, she's shocked and awed by the fact that they sent her on a job. When are you going to wake the fuck up, you dumb bitch? Can I leave? I'm going to Mardi Gras. I'm going to Mardi Gras thanks to Bob.
Yeah.
That's a job? You want me to kill? Yes.
Dude, she's been out. She's got beads. She's been out showing titties. She's been day drinking all fucking day. And now they're like, hey, go into the bathroom. There's a gun and a walkie-talkie. Open the window and wait for instructions. Who booked this hotel? Because this agency is fucking terrible. She gets into the bathroom. She has the walkie-talkie. She finds the gun. She puts that shit together. And she's like, I can't open the window. There's no fucking, it's just a solid window. And they're like, open the fucking window. How about this? How about you book me in a room that has a window that I don't know, I could fucking crank open and just kind of stick my shit out, bang, bang, done, done. What are we doing here? The agency's terrible. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. She's shithouse drunk, getting ready to shoot somebody. And then you got fucking cuckold JP out here like, I'd like to marry you through the bathroom door and proposing?
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, guys. Uncle Corey here. Nothing shows what type of a man you're going to be to a presumed partner by asking her through the door when you're not face to face and you can't look them in the eye, you fucking cuck. What an embarrassment of a human being you are, asking her through the door and then crying because she's asking you to... What if she's taking a shit? And you're like, I think I deserve it. She doesn't want to say yes to you while she's taking a shit, JP. How about that? It's not all about you, you fucking crybaby.
You're absolutely
God.
right. But it makes me laugh that you brought that up because as she's got the gun, right? And she's waiting for them to like tell her. And by the way, again, poor job by the agency. You don't know who the target is.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Wait, they're getting information in real time.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. That being said, she's sitting there, she's waiting for instructions on who to shoot. I got JP out here who's like, no, you marry me. And in my head, I went, I know she told him she was going in to take a bath.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't you just go, hey, JP, I'm taking a shit over here. Can you wait till I'm done? You want to back a dude off the door? He's not coming. He's not walking in. He's not talking anymore. He's just now waiting for room service. And then he'll be like, hey, honey, you done taking a shit? And then after you hide the gun, and yeah, I'm done taking a shit. Thanks, guy. That's where my brain went. And I'm like, the writers didn't think of that? Like, hey, JP, taking a shit. No, they go the other way because they get into this, because he just waltzes right in. So the door wasn't even locked.
No.
He just,
so
he walked.
And he wouldn't walk in, which tells you he knew there could be a chance she was taking a shit. Yeah. And he's still giving her hell.
After this, she goes back to HQ. She tries to quit, but Bob says, there's no way out. You're in this for life. And he gives her the next assignment to take out some rich dude who has, I don't know, plans for nukes or some bullshit.
And nukes.
So Maggie then goes to Amanda for help, and Amanda's like, sorry, guy, take a hike. So Bob finally tells Maggie he'll try to help her if she does this job. So Maggie has to impersonate this rich dude's girlfriend. So she studies her, like, I don't know, birthday party home videos and shit so she can like walk like her and talk like her.
Now I learned to talk like sexy Russian more.
She was just watching videos of Corey doing kiss reviews.
I want to take peace now. I got to go peace.
JP, don't come in. I'm taking shit.
Let me advise all of you Russian bitches of this one thing, okay? No rich man is going to have you as a real girlfriend when you talk like she does. You're a piece of trash. You get used up and thrown away by everyone. Fuck you.
Absolutely. So they get to this job, right? It's Maggie and this other chick. Shit goes sideways immediately. And they have to call in the cleaner, Harvey Keitel. I love that Harvey Keitel is just like, we need a cleaner for this movie. It's Harvey Keitel. Let's just give him a shout.
When he's not shooting movies, I'm confident this is just what he really does.
This is like a Wednesday afternoon for him.
Mm-hmm. He shoots movies for fun. His real job is this shit.
Yes. So Victor shows up. He starts to clean the scene. Maggie goes to step 2 to get into character as the girlfriend. Bob here realizes that Maggie is going to get murdered after she completes the job by Victor the cleaner. And Maggie finally gets to the rich dude's house, gets the info from him that she needs off his computer. And as she hesitates to kill him, he jumps at her, a fight starts. She kicks the fuck out of him and his like bodyguard. She gets in Victor's car. They take off, they get away. In the car, she sees that Victor's going for his gun. She pulls like the parking brake on the thing, and the car goes into spinsies, and it's hanging off the cliff. And in the whole struggle here of Victor trying to kill her, or her trying to get away, the car just crushes Victor and goes sliding down the hill.
And this is the moral of the story, I believe, is if you're a woman and you're in mortal danger, just cower in a corner and God will work everything out for you. There's no fight. There's no. She literally cowers against a wall while hoping the car saves her because she's being strangled. Point of no return.
I mean,
She's really a La Femme Nikita over here, yeah?
She does kick his knee out when he's trying to get under and he's like swiping at her with the blade.
Yeah,
So she does
him
one thing and then she like slides out.
Mm-hmm. It was very Ripley of Aliens, is all I'm saying.
Now, Ripley, it was not, but also it wasn't nothing.
No, it takes a lot of. I mean, it's hard to get yourself that tight into a corner, into that tight of a ball, especially when you're so scared you're breathing heavy like that. Fucking joke.
So
everybody else gets to fight their way out, and the one female special agent is they're like, nah, we're gonna wait for Angelina Jolie. This one just gets lucky.
And the shitty thing about it is, because I totally agree with you, the shitty thing about it is like they get accosted in an alley in New Orleans, right?
Mm-hmm.
She fucks these two dudes up that are like 6'2", 6'3", just mountain men.
Mm-hmm.
Fucks them up in an alley. At the rich dude's house, she has the moment of hesitation. He jumps at her. The bodyguard comes in. She fucks both of them up.
Mm-hmm.
But then they get into like the little. She very intelligently like pulls the brake, does the whole thing. The car goes into spinsies. So everything up until now is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then now she's just like, oh no, dude's got a knife. So I'm gonna cower in the. I'm like, that part I didn't like. That part I was just like, dude, I get it. It's Harvey Keitel, but at the same time, kick the shit out of fucking old ass Harvey Keitel and let's move on with our day.
Well, yeah, especially considering nothing else happens the rest of the movie. The rest of the movie is just her actually getting out.
Yes.
So, with that being said, it's like the climax of the movie is the car kills Harvey Keitel and saves Bridget Fonda. This isn't fucking Christine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
There should have been a little more. She should have, with Bob's help, gone after the one head guy who wanted to kill her and threaten her and take him out. Find out Anne Bancroft is the fucking main chick who's really leading all of this. And then she kills her, and Gabriel Byrne's like, I got to clean all this up now. I don't know what I'm going to do. And she's like, I'm out. And he's like, yes, you are. Done.
Yeah. No,
end of movie. That's how you should have ended the movie. Yeah. But instead, we got to fucking go home and jerk off JP before we fucking leave. Because, you know, we're Kelly in Beyond the Valley of the Shadow of the Dolls. We just jerk people off for no reason and walk away.
So Bob goes there and he's just like, where's Maggie? Whatever. And I love at this point that JP's so fucking jaded. Like when he walks in and he sees the chick and Maggie like working on this, you know, from the home videotapes, and she's like, oh no, I need to go away. Like doing the thing. She's like, oh, hey, are you Uncle Bob? Or no, you're Uncle Rick. No, you're Aunt Sally. Right. He becomes such a shit to everybody. So now Bob shows up and he's just like, yeah, I guess fucking come in. You're going to come in anyway. Like, fuck you. Here's your disc that Maggie got. She bounced. She's gone. And Bob's like, so he goes out and, you know, starts to drive away. We see Maggie from like down the street seeing him drive away. So she turns and just walks. And Bob's like, wait a second. That was too easy. So he throws it in reverse and he's like, there she is. And then he calls Blumpkin or whatever the hell the dude's name is. And he's like, hey, guy. Yeah. The cleaner, the chick, they're both dead. The car fell on them. I got the disc. Everything's good to go. And the movie ends because it's like, oh, she got away. She didn't get away. You want to know how I know this? Because whatever that dude's name, fucking at HQ, when Bob is on the phone with him, right? And he's like, yeah, the cleaner, he's dead. The girl. And it takes you 15 minutes to say the girl's dead too. the guy on the other end of the phone is going to go, this motherfucker's lying to me. It took you 20 minutes to spit that out, and it's not because you care about her. It's not like you're emotional. It was very dry.
Yeah. That was more of like, oh man, I didn't get to fuck her. Kind of.
Yes.
Like, she's gone.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in love, bro. You're in lust. And I get
Yeah.
it. We've all been there. But
It
also,
happens.
it's not love, and don't get it fucking confused.
Yes.
No, this movie's fucking ridiculous. And what gave it away, too, at the end here, because, you know, he's driving away and she's gone. We'll never find her. But then he's like, wait a second, backs the car up. And he looks down the one alley where somebody dropped a fucking smoke grenade, because everything else around this fucking alley is totally sunny and crystal clear.
Yes.
And this one little stretch of land that she's walking into is just billowing fucking fog. I wonder where she could be.
Dude, she was ripping heaters back there. She's just like, ah.
Yeah, she's probably smoking fucking crack again.
Hell yes.
She wasn't walking away in the alley. She's in the alley. When he fucking throws it in reverse, he's like, oh, there she is. She's passed out with a fucking needle in her arm in the fucking alley. And he's like, oh, I guess we don't need to kill her. Just doing it herself. Cool.
Yeah, that
and then
was
he just
done.
takes off, and then there's credits.
Facts.
No, listen, were there things about this movie that I liked? Sure. I thought the plot was it was kind of ridiculous. I would have much rather had her, instead of like being like this junkie that they pull for special like the government's pulling fucking junkies off the street to train them to be fucking secret spy killers. Get the fuck out of here. I would have just rather had her almost like a Silence of the Lambs type deal, where you put her in that role and she like graduates the academy and she gets a special assignment, and now she's like, I'd rather have that. That makes way more fucking sense.
Yeah, this should have went a lot of places. This is like breaking bricks at the end of Sidekick to defeat the bully. And just, there's no satisfying conclusion at the end of it. And if your entire point was to tell more of a love story or a love triangle, you fucking failed miserably.
Yeah.
Because that barely scratches the surface, but is the only thing driving Gabriel Byrne's character this entire movie, is his lust obsession with her.
Yeah.
And it falls so flat that it just kills the rest of the movie, because clearly that's what was more important to you.
Yes.
So, yeah,
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
as far as a spy movie goes, I'll watch fucking almost anything other than this. This was just bad.
Yeah, I didn't like it all that much. I'll say this, because there was a lot of, it was like an hour 48, I think, something like that was the runtime. There was just a lot of fat on this movie. Like, there was a lot of scenes they could have just cut out and made it more lean. And it still wasn't paced horribly, but you could have made this an hour 25 to an hour 30, and it would have been a much better movie, paced a lot better and whatever. But the plot still needs some help, even if you did that.
Yeah,
So-
I'll sum this up by saying I would do this. I would have montaged her training a lot more. I would have cut the beginning of this where we find out she's a junkie in half. I would have set the main climax of the movie to be getting back at Bob, who is much more violent and attacks JP or does something to JP. So now Bob is our bad guy. We go at Bob. We go at the guy right above Bob. We keep climbing the ladder and leave it open-ended. Is she out? Is she going to go back after him? Does she leave Anne Bancroft a note here? Like, I'm not going to kill you, but also you tell these people to stay the fuck away from me. I'm out, kind of thing. There's a million different ways this could have gone that would have been so much better as far as a movie like this is supposed to be concerned, where they just did not achieve it. And frankly, it doesn't even look like they attempted it. They tried to set it up, and then they just abandon it for a fucking half-assed love story that just did not fly.
No, it didn't fly. It barely existed. Let alone,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, whatever. But yeah, that's all I got, man. I will probably not be revisiting this movie. So
No. This is one I really wish they would remake, and I'm going to throw a crazy idea out here. But gender swap it, where you make like the guy the spy, and then he's got like a girlfriend who's real sensitive and bitchy. And then like he's got to make that choice of like, am I a spy or am I in love? Just throwing that out there because that's never been done before.
Well, on that note, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1993's Point of No Return.